January 31st, 2026. Nancy Guthrie has dinner with her daughter Annie. Annie's husband Tommaso drives her home. She walks inside. She closes the door. That is the last normal moment anyone can account for. At 1:47 in the morning, a doorbell camera captures something. A figure dressed in black, gloves, 2 bags, slim build, moving with purpose toward an 84-year-old woman's front door. Then the camera goes dark. No more footage, no witnesses, no phone signal, no GPS. Every external record of Nancy Guthrie's life goes silent in the same second. And she has been missing for over 90 days. But here is what nobody outside this investigation fully understands. The camera wasn't the only thing watching. Inside Nancy's chest, a small, implanted cardiac device, her pacemaker, kept recording. Every heartbeat, every movement, every physiological response her body produced that night. It logged all of it. It time-stamped all of it. And it stored all of it in a cloud platform the FBI subpoenaed within the first week of February. Promise 1. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what happened to Nancy Guthrie between 1:47 and 2:28 in the morning, because her own heart recorded every second of it. Promise 2, and you will understand why the FBI's forensic team called one specific finding inside that data the most disturbing detail in this entire investigation. If you are new here, subscribe right now. We cover this case the way it deserves to be covered, carefully, factually, completely. That 41-minute window between 1:47 and 2:28, we are going inside it. But before we go inside those 41 minutes, you need to understand something. The FBI didn't just read this data, they decoded it, and they did it in 5 evidence points that build on each other like a sealed case file. Here is the real version. Let's go through this the way the FBI went through it, not as a news story, as a case file. 5 evidence points. Each one closes a door. Evidence point 1. At 1:46 and 58 seconds, the front door sensor detects motion. At 1:47 and 02 seconds, the doorbell camera starts recording. At 1:47 and 15 seconds, a masked figure appears on screen. Gloves, 2 bags, all black. Athletic build between 5'10 and 6'2". At 1:47 and 55 seconds, that figure leaves the frame. The camera goes dark. That is the last image anyone outside that house ever sees. Evidence point 2. At the exact same second the camera goes dark. 1:47 and 18 seconds. Nancy's pacemaker logs a sudden cardiac event. Not gradual, not slow, acute, instantaneous. Forensic cardiologists who reviewed this pattern describe it clearly. It is the cardiac response of a conscious person who is suddenly and severely frightened. The camera and the pacemaker agree on the same second. That is not coincidence. That is confirmation. Evidence point 3. At 1:47 and 20 seconds, an audio analysis tool flags an unusual sound event from inside the residence. Something happened in that house in that moment. Something loud enough for a sensor to catch it. Evidence point 4. Investigators recovered physical evidence consistent with someone who came prepared. 2 bags, gloves, items you don't carry by accident. This was not a spontaneous break-in. Someone planned this visit down to what they would need when they got inside. Evidence point 5. The location. 5830 North Jenna Drive, Catalina Foothills, quiet streets, low overnight traffic. The kind of neighborhood where a figure in black can arrive at 1:47 in the morning and leave without a single neighbor ever knowing. 5 points, 5 closed doors. And at 2:28 in the morning, the last data point the cloud ever received from Nancy's pacemaker goes silent. But what happened in the 41 minutes between those 2 timestamps? That is where this case goes, somewhere the FBI did not expect. Because those 5 evidence points only show you the edges of what happened that night. What the pacemaker recorded in between, those 41 minutes of complete external darkness, That is a different story, and it is broken into 4 phases. Here is what the FBI's forensic cardiac team decoded from inside that 41-minute window. 4 phases, each one more disturbing than the last. Here are the 4 phases of Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker data. In the exact order the FBI decoded them. Phase 1. Nancy was awake. That cardiac spike at 1:47 does not come from someone asleep. A person pulled from deep sleep produces a different physiological pattern entirely. What Nancy's pacemaker logged was an acute, conscious fear response. At the precise second, a masked figure disabled her camera. She was awake, she was aware, and her own heart confirmed she knew something was wrong. Phase 2. The fear did not stop. A normal startle response resolves within minutes. Nancy's heart rate did not come back down. It stayed elevated, irregular, distressed, for an extended period. Whatever triggered that spike at 1:47 stayed inside that house with her. Phase 3, she was being moved. Roughly 15 to 20 minutes into the window, the accelerometer data changes. When you walk voluntarily, your movement produces a specific rhythmic pattern. What the device recorded here is different. Passive, not self-generated. The duration and rhythm of the movement pattern is consistent with one thing: a body being placed in a vehicle and driven away. Phase 4, the most disturbing finding. In the final 10 to 15 minutes before sync stops, heart rate variability collapses. This is the natural beat-to-beat variation every conscious heart produces. When it disappears, cardiologists have a specific clinical name for what they are seeing: pharmacological sedation, a drug-induced alteration of consciousness. Someone gave Nancy Guthrie a sedative, an 84-year-old woman, inside a moving vehicle, in the dark. You do not accidentally carry medical-grade sedatives. You plan for them. You acquire them. You bring them with intent. Drop it in the comments right now. At which phase did you realize this was never a random crime? The sedation finding didn't just tell the FBI what happened inside those 41 minutes. It told them exactly what kind of person could make it happen. Because medical-grade sedatives don't appear from nowhere. They leave a trail, and following that trail leads investigators directly to the person running this entire operation. Porch guy came through the front door. He disabled the camera. He entered the house. But he was not running this operation. Someone gave him instructions. Someone knew the camera layout. Someone obtained those sedatives in advance. Someone had a vehicle waiting. The FBI and 3 of the most credentialed criminal investigators in America are calling that person the boss. On May 6, 2026, a CW special brought together Dr. Ann Burgess, the criminal profiler who inspired Netflix's Mindhunter, alongside Dr. Gary Bricado of Boston College and criminologist Dr. Casey Jordan. All 3 reached the same conclusion independently. Porch guy may already be dead, eliminated by whoever hired him to prevent identification. The boss is not panicking. The boss is managing, calculating, making decisions. That is the profile of someone who planned every contingency before 1:47 a.m. ever arrived. Subscribe right now. When the DNA results break from Quantico, this channel will be the first place that goes through them the right way. Here is what the FBI is following right now. The sedation finding narrows the compound. Narrowing the compound narrows who could have obtained it. A procurement trail for a controlled medical substance is not invisible. It exists, and the FBI is on it. At the same time, a rootless hair sample and biological material from a bedsheet at Nancy's home went to Quantico. Estrella forensics and genetic genealogy expert C.C. Moore, someone who has cracked cold cases using nothing but degraded partial DNA, are processing it right now. A partial profile can identify a biological relative. The boss may not know their own DNA is already sitting in an FBI lab in Virginia. Tell me what you think. Was this someone close to the family or someone hired from the outside? The DNA is at Quantico. The procurement trail is active. The Bluetooth sweeps are running south of the Catalina foothills. But Nancy Guthrie has been gone for over 90 days. And there is something this investigation cannot access without finding her first. Here is the hardest truth in this entire case. The pacemaker data ends at 2:28 in the morning. Everything after that timestamp is locked inside the device still implanted in Nancy's chest. The FBI cannot transmit it. They cannot access it remotely. They cannot read a single second of it without finding her first. But here is what 2:28 actually shows. Not cardiac arrest. Not a device entering post-mortem mode. A sedated heart, functioning, still beating. Nancy Guthrie was alive at 2:28 in the morning of February 1st, 2026. Someone sent 2 notes to TMZ on April 6th. One claiming Nancy was dead, one claiming a sighting in Sonora, Mexico. Same sender, same morning, contradicting each other completely. Retired FBI agents called them fraudulent immediately. And the pacemaker data proves those notes wrong. Whoever wrote them did not know what the device recorded. They were guessing. That pacemaker has been running every second since 2:28, every hour, every day. 90+ days of data locked inside a device the size of a matchbox. Inside a woman who raised her children alone, tended her garden, had dinner with her daughter, and went home. Do you believe Nancy is still alive? Tell me what you think. And why. Subscribe. Because when this case breaks, and it will break, you need to already be here. Her heart is still keeping count.